Welcome back to the National Hockey Centre in Glasgow. We are getting set for the first of the European playoffs, and it's the women first up, Clydesdale Western against Edinburgh University. But before that, a bit of a special award. One of the umpires for this encounter, Sarah Wilson, has been award winning. The national newspaper, the Umpire of the Year award for her, so a great accolade. And she's got a busy game, I'm sure, today alongside Alex Walker. So great award, great moment for her, and now on come the sides. Rematch this of the recent league duel between these two in National League One, and also of course the cup final last week, which was a great start for Clydesdale Western, but Edinburgh Uni clawed their way back into it and scored 2 goals. Zara Malseed with those two today and last week, rather, than 2 terrific efforts. Well, before we get things in there, let's look at the sides for Edinburgh University, who are in red today. The starters are Susan Al-Haddad in goals, Ali Eady, Louise Campbell, Becky Drew the captain, Kirsten Peters, Suzanne Graham, Maisie Morris, Becky Merchant, Amy Brody, Zara Malseed and Sarah Robertson. On the sidelines, Waverley Miller, Sophie Monza, Annie Arthur and Laura Swanson. For Clydesdale Western, Heather Howie starts with Anna Logan, Heather Lang, Susan McGilvery as the captain, Millie Brown, Alex Wilson, Laura Mann, Frances Lonergan, Lucy Lanigan and Mary Fletcher's the keeper. Also on the sidelines, Lexi Sabatelli, Millie Steiger, Susie Gilman, Ali Howie, Emma McGregor and Fiona Burnett. So pre-match huddles from these two, and it's been an exciting day so far, relegations wise. Heartbreak if you're supporters of Erskine Stewart's Melbourne, the women's side relegated from National League One after losing in the penalty shootout to Grange, and in the men's side Watsonians threw away a 2-goal advantage to lose in a shootout to Inverleith. So Watsonians down, Inverleith up. So in the men's and women's side, 2 teams up to National League One. So we're all set to get underway here. And it is Clydesdale Western who are in their navy blue. They're changed today. We're in their bright luminous orange. Lucy Lanigan, who scored last week in an early touch, she scored the opener. Also had an eventful game with a green and yellow card, but giving it away here in the early stages.
We're in level 2 and level 3.
So, in the early stages, alongside myself, Carl Patterson in commentary, it's Neil Mingus, under 21 head coach for the Scotland women. Neil, great to see you. A bit of an invested interest, I'm sure, for some of the players. This should be another cracker after last week.
It should be, yeah. I mean, last week, I think ultimately University were the better side, deserved the win. And I think today what we need to see is a change in tactics from the Clydesdale Western girls. Need to put on a bit more pressure. Sat back a little bit last time. But yes, it's going to interesting few moments we've got ahead of us.
Turn away there for Peters for Edinburgh Uni. That support out wide. Into the D it goes, and within 90 seconds they've got themselves a penalty corner.
So ideal start if you're a University supporter.
An early huddle to decide their routine to this penalty corner. Alidi heading across. Well, they did get off to a slow start last week, looking to try and do the reversal this time around. They cleaned up on the silverware, now looking to try and get themselves into the top or the second tier, the main tier of European hockey. They'd like to achieve that. Scrambling around going on the turn was Lonergan, still in play in the D. Lonergan looking around and behind, and then there was Sarah Robertson, and it's a terrific start. And I just mentioned about the slow start they had last week in the final, and here they've got the best possible start in this playoff.
So I think they were very patient there in the circle. They obviously tried to work an option which didn't quite work out, and had the composure to keep the ball and just wait until the opportunity arose.
So conceding the penalty corner, first real move in attack, and Edinburgh side in front.
So I think this will really ask some questions about Clydesdale Western now, so I think we now have to press out.
Now weaving in space is Brodie.
Amy Brodie's been one of the girls who's scored a lot of goals in the last 2 or 3 games for University.
Lively towards the end of the campaign. Robertson trying to turn provider this time. Well, Graham, the PA beside us, been given the honours of the goal. Sarah Robertson definitely a touch in there, maybe a further touch.
So Millie Brown here trying to burst through the middle, one of the faster players on the Western side, and I think that's one of their assets. They have a couple of players up front who are really quite quick, and they need to get them as much service as they can.
How are we looking to do that back from Lang? Skittle out and away. Sticking around with the navy shirts. So Western look to try and get themselves back after conceding early on in this European playoff. So the choice of the Euro Club Trophy or the Club Championships too. The level of European competition that they're playing for. Driven across, and Lanigan with a sensational finish. With a ball across. She scored last week, it was in vain. This time she equalises, and a big moment for her and a big moment for her side. It's a straightaway equaliser.
And that opportunity there, almost a carbon copy of a shot she had in the cup final, and that time the keeper managed to smother. This time she finds the net.
It's a wonderful ball. Heather Lang, who I think was the one that set up Lanigan last week. She was threatening down that channel, and Lucy Lanigan touched in the cup final coverage last week about the terrible time she's had with injury over the last 12 months or so, and really enjoying playing at hockey again and trying to get herself sorted out for big international tournaments ahead, Commonwealth Games, target many players. I think quietly delighted to be starting after coming off the sidelines in the early stages last week.
So once again Western seem to have decided to sit back, try and soak up the pressure. Personally I think that's a little bit of a dangerous tactic. I think they're inviting more pressure than perhaps they need to, but it does give them scope to break fast. And here once again is Millie Brown.
Brown with the support. Heather Howie just heads away out, but seen the idea there, just exactly what you said, Neil, trying to break away at pace.
Yeah. Well, certainly those two players, probably two of the fastest players on the pitch, and if they can manage to get going together, then it's quite a good combination. So Becky Drew working down the pitch here. This is one of the issues that I think the Western girls have to deal with. Becky Drew's distribution last time round was very, very good, and they didn't manage to handle that. If she didn't go through or wide, she went over.
Pinball around a little bit. Stretching across there. Clydesdale Western trying to get in the break again with Howie down that channel. Forward comes Brown, working her way into the gap, just ran out of room.
It was a good sign of intent from Clydesdale Western there, a large number of players forward.
One or two just getting ourselves in for this first of the two European playoffs, and they've already missed a bit of a fast start. 2 goals in the opening 6 minutes.
Well, certainly both teams are capable of scoring goals in the league season this season. The Edinburgh girls have managed an average of just short of 5 a game, and the Western girls, Clydesdale Western, 1 goal behind that. With
penalty stroke's been given here, Neil.
Yep. Well, I think if you go to ground and you make contact with a player, then that's what's going to happen, and it should probably also be a yellow card. I don't think she's given the card, but going to ground is perfectly acceptable as long as you get the ball and nothing else.
It didn't look like that happened, and Susan Graham did well for her side, and well, could be a chance here. Drew, the captain, chance here for a second from the spot, and it is the lead once again for Edinburgh University. Captain's goal, and what a flyer of a start.
So once again I feel that Clydesdale Western have to respond quickly to this one.
Stolen quickly by Brodie. Man for company. Brodie right across into the dangerous area. Monda was around in the day.
Yes, once again that was well defended, but it was a dangerous ball hit on the reverse there.
Back it goes. Captain just scored, of course. Graham was looking for some options.
So once again Clydesdale Western dropping back and back, just allowing easy possession, and once the ball gets inside the 25 they're under masses of pressure.
Ricocheting off Fiona Burnett there. Switched across again for ED on the far side, trying to stretch Western. McGregor trying to keep the threat out. Nice bit of space found for Graham again. Brodie just switching wings whenever she wants.
So at the moment the forward players for Clydesdale Western having to work very hard to cover the width of the pitch, and the danger is it's going to take the edge off their attacking abilities.
Slight miscue from Graham, certainly didn't find anyone in red in the circle.
Number 2 for Edinburgh, scored by Captain Becky Drew.
Now at the other end come Western break.
So another fast break there, Emma McGregor, another of the quick forwards. So this clearly looks to be the tactic that the Glasgow team are going to adopt: sit back and then try and break as fast as they possibly can.
Lumped forward.
So on that occasion also a bit too far, but that's a pass that Becky Drew has used very well over the last couple of games. This is Ali Howie, one of the Howie sisters, coming out from the midfield.
And a little bit of pressure there from the sliding Brodie.
But for the moment, being handled well, good composed interpassing.
Well, it's been stolen there by Monza. Won't stay with her for long. Good pick up from Swanson. Morris across. Merchant.
So once again, Edinburgh prepared to be nice and patient, wait for the openings, working the ball well from side to side. And once again inside the 25 with relative ease.
That was fire with some power from Brodie. Alidi out of time. Wander down that channel, but right still backwards and a switch up for Waverley Miller.
So a bit of a mistake in the pick up there, but so far Edinburgh have been very patient and very methodical, just looking to work their options. And because of the depth that the Glasgow Girls are keeping in the game, they've got plenty of time and space to do that.
Pressing here is terrific. Swanson that was originally, and now carry on Robertson trying to work through a little gap. Peters causing one or two problems too, but it's Laura Mann the one that got it away.
A good chance for a break now if they manage to move the ball early.
And they have done so.
A nice ball inside from Ali Howie.
Ali Howie then for Flanagan back on and
it in the corner.
Penalty corner. Millie Brown calls a menace in the day. And their turn to try something out and try and get an equaliser inside the first 14-15 minutes of this playoff final.
So I still feel that the Glasgow Girls are playing a very dangerous game and sitting so deep, inviting so much pressure. But that's now 2 or 3 breaks they've had when they've actually been very, very effective once they get out.
So it is Ali Howie heading across.
This will be where Clydesdale Western will be missing their drag flicker, Jen Eady, who's injured and hasn't played for the last couple of weeks.
See how Ali Howie does here with this injection. Lonergan can be a threat, and it's swung through, and it was in.
I'm really not sure about that one, so I feel that was off Ali Howie's leg. I think the smile on her face lets you know that she's just waiting to see if she gets away with it.
I feel around with the initial strike, and then it took a nick, and umpires have called it off.
Certainly the Edinburgh Girls very, very quick to question the umpires on that one.
So we thought we had an equaliser, only briefly thought.
But still it shows the threat that there is on that break. And for once Western high up the pitch applying a lot of pressure.
Hammered away by Robertson. Western trying to come from deep, but that's pocket picked, and here comes Campbell with some space just ushered out by Lonergan. A swipe from McGivery. Swanson wriggled room for space for Campbell. Good wriggle room, good defence.
Yeah, Alex Wilson showing some good dribbling skills there, fast hands that she has. A chance to open out here if Clydesdale Western see the opportunity.
Logan went short. Ali Howie goes across, sees his space.
Yep, the experience of Ali Howie, who's one of the top international players.
You mentioned about the goals, Neil. Western with 101 in the league campaign. Pretty impressive.
Yep.
Or Western at 87, should say, Edinburgh with 101. So, you're expecting this sort of level of entertainment.
Yes, I think the competition between the two teams has been fairly tight, or certainly in the league it was. And so far this season, the Clydesdale Western girls are the only team to have beaten University in all competition.
The cup final last week was a affair which swung back and forwards. Certainly Western had the better of the start, got the lead. Edinburgh United powered through.
Yes, I think once University got the lead, they were well worth their win from there. I don't think they were really threatened after that point.
Western looking for an equaliser here.
So University starting to make some mistakes at the back now as Western apply a bit of pressure higher up the pitch.
Alex Wilson down for Logan. That went out. A few of the Grange players are heading in behind us. They've got the men's European playoff. It's Kelburn at 4 o'clock. Final game of the day. It's been a fascinating and enjoyable day. Not if you're maybe supporters of sides relegated today, but playoffs with such drama with the shootouts.
Yeah, and I think the next men's game is also going to be a really interesting game, given the recent excitement between the two teams.
Yeah, with the Chopper or Car Saturday or whatever it was called, with the title and then the cup game last week. Now for Peters. Coming back was Heather Howie. He trying to squirm a little gap, couldn't find it.
Yeah, Heather's certainly one of the girls that the University girls will be wanting to keep tabs on and not let her get a chance to run into free space, because once she gets going she takes some stopping. But once again, patient build up, finding possession inside the 25. Maisie Morris playing the ball out.
Forward at hammers from Drew.
Yep.
Clearing now, break time. This is what they've been trying to do all game. Western,
and now they have a real chance.
Millie Brown, was there an intervention? Lanigan's arms up in the air.
Well, I think rather than waving her arms and shouting at the umpires just to carry on playing, it might help her team a little bit more.
Well, she's going to go for a wee seat because one comes Burnett, but at the other end could well be trouble. And had a soft touch to get it away. Now break time once more. Can they maybe utilise something this time? Get off the foot from Ali Howie's attempted pass. Free hit was very quickly taken for McGregor, just going to slide away. Potential danger, Merchant had to watch. McGregor's path was, the path from McGregor was getting closed down very quickly.
Yeah, certainly the game has changed from the opening period when it was very much sit back from one team and easy possession for the other. Much more nip and tuck now.
Skipping a turn from Burnett. Heather Howie had a stick in the air and wanted it.
I watched a little bit of the Glasgow girls yesterday, and Fiona Burnett was looking very sharp. So once again, holding possession well and managing to get some territory.
Bruce. Right across the D. Heather Howie looking to find the gap herself. A bit of bluff and double bluff for Wilson.
Ball in.
And again, it's a half an opportunity if they could find the right stick on the end of it.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a little bit more gambling by the forwards. So when these balls get crashed in, if people are in towards that far post, they have to have their sticks ready just to touch that ball in at the post. Assume it's going to come.
Back it goes from Annie Arthur. Turn away from Drew.
It's an unfortunate first touch there from Louise.
She just about rescued it herself.
Yes. She is very quick, and especially over a short distance.
Arthur. Big switcheroo to the other side and for Miller. Cut out.
And once again we have a fast break possibility here.
McGivery done well in the initial stage to block it, and now further up comes Burnett, lively again.
Unfortunately lifting the ball into Brodie, but the decision's gone against her.
She's thinking the same thing as you there.
Yeah, I think she definitely felt like she'd have gone the other way.
Switch for Swanson. Plenty of possession for Edinburgh University at the moment. Campbell getting by Logan. Here the sticks clattering. More space for Arthur. Firing to good spot, and coming in behind was Louise Campbell, but couldn't quite get the connection she wanted.
Yeah, but she anticipated, had gone to ground, and it was just unfortunate the ball just went away from her a little bit. But very agile goalkeeping as well to try and deny any opportunity.
Balls for Bruce. Logan. That was fine. Malseed, the real figure last week in the comeback.
Yes, open play goal on a corner if I remember correctly.
You mentioned at the top, virtually nothing between the two sides. 3 points in the table.
There's a very good opportunity.
Very crucial in the league now. Can they get forwards? And it's behind Steiger as we wriggle through.
It should be
Burnett
a corner,
again.
and indeed it is.
And it is indeed. Fiona Burnett, player you've talked up a couple of times, really making a menace.
Fiona is one of the new breed of international players who's now established. And I think what we're seeing more and more is it's those younger players that are starting to become the impact players.
So good work, and Western with just under 10 minutes left. They're getting told to hurry up very quickly because they're using their time up there. Ready are the side in the goal. So Western looking for the equaliser here. Skiff through McGilvery with it, but didn't come to anything and clattering around the sticks.
Yes, I think Susan McGilvery trying to sweep it in for a deflection.
Wilson.
But perhaps played in to control the pace. They really have to be played in really quite hard. Izzy Morris working well out of trouble there. Ultimately winning the foul.
And we're going to see a card, a green. And Western down to 10, which is not ideal. And a point where they're trying to chase the game. Alex Wilson takes a couple of minutes.
And if we were to look back at the cup final from last week, then cards were quite a significant factor. I think at the stage when Clydesdale Western had to chase the game, they ended up a couple of players down. And equally didn't capitalise on a period when University were a player down. So we'll see how they handle it this time. So lovely ball out from Susan McGilvery.
Gilman swatted a bit of space for Heather Lang. Here's Lanigan back on. And the players was showing cards last week, as we mentioned, a green and a yellow. And a goal. Lively game she had.
Yes.
I think we kind of thought the green was a little bit harsh, so maybe the yellow should have been the green, but that's what happens in the game.
Yeah, she certainly is a committed player when it comes to making tackles, and sometimes that commitment leads her to fouling a bit more than she would like to, and she certainly paid the price for that last week. And for once it's University just clearing the lines rather than the constructive play they've been playing up until now. But this game still has the feel of a game that could go either way.
Man for Steiger. Cut out and marauding run here now for Morris, despite all the tackles coming in, and it's a third. And coming in, Monda couldn't quite reach it, but support came in the background.
Well, I think when that breakaway came and the drive came from Edinburgh University down that inside channel, the player tackling back, who I think was Millie Brown in this instance, was too desperate to try and win the ball and had to work harder to get in a stronger position, because once she was eliminated, then it made things just a bit too easy.
Yeah, Peters, along with the touch, I was slightly distracted by looking at the umpire, because Alex Wilson went off, of course. Millie Brown's now had her marching orders for a couple of minutes with a green, so briefly Western are down to 9 in the middle of all that. It's a big advantage for the University.
So even at this stage, although we still have over 5 minutes of the first half to go, I now feel that if the Glasgow team don't score next, that the game is pretty much over.
And that was a tight squeeze, which Francis Lonergan got all into trouble about. Morris has again, it's fired across, and if anyone taps that in, dots that in, that's number 4.
So a very dangerous period at the moment for the team from Clydesdale Western, as University search for that potentially winning goal. So every time a player lands at a Clydesdale Western player, there's somebody in their faces very, very quickly.
Oh, yeah, his ball cut out by Arthur. Into the final 5 of this first half. Lang looking for Fiona Bruce, but back with the side in red and with Robertson influential in the move for the opener. Drilled across Lanigan, waiting again, diving in, fully committed as she is, but not quite getting the touch.
Yeah, there are not so many players in the women's game, certainly in Scotland, that are prepared to go to ground, but Lanigan is definitely one of them. And very unlucky there not to make contact in that far post.
They can feel used to the watered surface. Peters at the other end. Gilman back to try and help and clear. That is back with the side red again with Graham back and Merchant. Have a hit and hope. Giveaway had to scramble it.
So I'm not quite sure what that decision was for. I didn't feel there was anything there, but umpire's much better placed than I am.
Hasn't came to anything anyway. Turn away by Swanson, McGivern away.
Lily Brown changing the angle very cleverly early on, opening up lots of space.
Just back on. Both sides now 11 against 11 again after Western's couple of greens. Still the wriggle room, but it's going to wriggle away. Steiger was trying to help out Brown.
So with just under 3 minutes to go, a chance for the Clydesdale Western girls to try and get closer to parity.
Just one of the livelier players for Western.
So made the mistake of not moving 5 yards inside the 25 before trying to fire that ball in. Just a little bit too anxious.
Nice ball for Swanson. Gilman on the road though. Brown. Lanigan stretching but won't quite reach that.
University just working possession very carefully here. Keen not to give anything away in this dying stage of the first half.
And
Amy Brodie finding some space as she turns inside. This could be really threatening.
Brodie just getting the freedom of the pitch here, just to roam on forward. Finally, McGilvery gets back with a bit of a look round saying, need some help please.
It was initially well won, but Swanson still on the move in the circle.
Trying to wriggle away. Brodie trying to get the turn. Didn't quite happen. Brodie absolutely sensational form yesterday with 4 goals against the Wildcats.
Ball lifted dangerously.
Sarah Robertson, that'll come to an end for her. We'll slide that move as the clock trickles down towards the interval. And maybe one last attempt for Western. They've got a big job now, but we've said that in the last game in the relegation playoff with the men 2 adrift in relief.
So that ball lifted by Sarah Robertson seemed to catch Ali Howie in the hand. She's just gone off and straight into changing rooms, so I assume she's heading for some ice.
Good time to take the little breather if you need a bit of ice for a few minutes.
And hopefully it's nothing that's too serious.
Exactly. Seen in the women's relegation playoff, it was a bruising encounter. 2 or 3 players were off getting treatment, 1 or 2 never came back on. Just down into the corner it goes from Louise Campbell. That'll do, that is the hooter. And Edinburgh University with the advantage in this European playoff, both guaranteed Europe of course, remember, but there's the choice of the Euro Club Trophy and the Club Championships too, so still plenty to talk about from 2 coaches at this interval. Your assessment on all the goals we've seen?
Well, I think the game has gone to a certain extent the way we expected it to, in terms of the way we've seen the recent encounters go. The difference has been that when Clydesdale Western have actually gone forward and exerted pressure higher up the pitch, they've had a degree of success out of that. But equally, their tactic of sitting back and playing in the break has also led to a couple of chances. I do feel, however, that Edinburgh University are too good a side to allow them as many opportunities as they have, and if they do that, I think they will score more goals.
So that's the state of play at half time. We'll take a pause from there and you'll be able to see some of the action from the first period. And at the moment, at half time, Edinburgh University 3, Clydesdale Western 1. Welcome back to our second half live coverage of this Euro playoff final. And Edinburgh University just about ready to get us underway for the second half against Clydesdale Western. And it is the University maybe too relaxed, because this kind of mentioning before coming back on air, Neil, that they're very much strolling out, look like they're in complete control of the game, and maybe they are going to be in complete control because Marseille already trying to be influential like she was last week, but won't quite work out for her. Yeah,
so they clearly had a starting play there. Ball played with once again the big overhead into space, and they were instantly inside the 25 and instantly putting pressure on in the Western rear guard.
Turn and away from Campbell.
Oh, lucky to escape the green card there, I think, knocking the ball away after the foul.
Drew is going to fall kindly. Swanson wriggling through. Wondergan got in the way, but it's found its way through. And it is a flyer 90 seconds into the second half, and Edinburgh University are strolling their way in this playoff.
Yes, I think University clearly felt that the next goal was going to be important, and they were determined it was going to be theirs, and they've set their stall out just to get the ball high quickly and to put on as much pressure as they can.
So that could well be a game over, you would think, in terms of a contest. And now Brodie driving. Marseille was waiting.
I think it's certainly a very long way back for Clydesdale Western to come back into this game.
Marseille again looking! And that's a thunderous finish.
So you'd have to say not impressive defence. The ball just played straight down the middle, and really these should be bread and butter for a defender.
Quick as a flash, they win at 5. Extraordinary start to the second period. Astonishing. Well, if it was in a bit of trouble, Western's chances at half time, it's well and truly over now.
Yes, I think when we saw the Edinburgh girls coming out, they clearly looked calm, confident, not feeling any pressure at all. And if they weren't feeling any pressure then, I suspect they're not going to be feeling much more now.
Forward comes Brodie. One-way traffic at the start of the second. Flicked away though by Heather Howie.
chance of the breakaway. Unfortunately, the first touch control wasn't what it might have been, and possession is turned over.
Michael Drew coming in there. Edie, a pass. Morris got that decision and took a free hit quickly.
Unfortunately gave the ball away, but then once again won back.
Marseille.
And that's going to be a corner.
Rolling up.
So it hit Lonergan very high, but off her own stick. So unfortunately she has to bear the pain of a ball to the face and the pain of having to defend a short corner as well.
So another chance for Edinburgh University.
And they do have a number of options off the top circle here. Becky Drew has a good drag flick. They also have a transfer to Becky Merchant who can sweep in for deflections.
Edie's injection.
And it's the deflection they're going for, but well blocked by the defence.
Not quite wriggled in from Merchant.
So Susan McGilvery, a very experienced defender, knew exactly what that option was going to be, stepped in first and made sure that the ball didn't get through to the deflector.
Anna Logan keeping possession for Western. Now it's a see how many goals maybe they can get in consolation.
The line turning her play very well, but well read equally by her international colleague, who then steals the ball off her.
Flung back, followed by Drew. Down that channel was Brody. Reach her. Lonergan with the defensive job.
And comes out of that well.
Logan, tight spot. In trouble spot, and now Marseille. Campbell waiting.
So Marseille had two options there. She had the pass that she tried to make. She also had Maisie Morris arriving late in a slightly deeper position.
Brown trying to wriggle away.
Yeah, and managing to draw the foul. So for the first time in a while, Glasgow Western having some possession higher up the pitch.
Forward and away out.
Yes, unfortunately there was a threat of a lead into that channel, and she put her head down to make the pass, and the player then changed their mind and decided not to make the lead.
Fortunate for Laura Mann. Robertson to turn and twist away. Flanagan tried to get the lunge in.
But Sarah Robertson, a very difficult player to get the ball off of. She's very experienced both with Scotland and with GB.
Mentioned last week, talked about it at half time just in our break as well. But Western kind of had to deal with things themselves, with the captain being head coach with Derek Forsyth away, successfully so, but away with GB.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure the girls will be delighted for the success that Derek and his GB team have had, but they'll also miss his presence here, because he has been coaching them now for a number of years, and he's brought a particular style to them. And without his cajoling from the side, then it takes an edge off again.
Yeah, Susan McGilvery is the captain slash coach, talking about everything at the moment. As they stand, Sam judges the happiest of the coaches. Can Western get themselves another? It's cut out despite the presence of Burnett again.
Yes, at the moment it's hard to imagine this being anything other than a win for the University girls. Not just because of the score, but because of the control they're in of the game overall.
Brodie, her turn, it came back to her fortuitously, and it never found its way in. Wander waiting too.
Yep.
Neither of them could put it in.
Yeah, and you said fortuitously. I think she was a little bit lucky. The first attempt wasn't the best, but she reacted very well to the breakdown and was very unlucky with that second attempt.
At the other end, Robertson doing defending work now. Ali Howie looking to try and gobble up Burnett. Hit and hope time, is it? Oh, is it?
And it was an opportunity.
Still wriggling there. Sabatelli, and they will get themselves a penalty corner.
Yes, Lexi Sabatelli doing very well there to get into goal scoring position. Just need that little bit of composure to get a bit stronger and then bury that ball into the roof of the net. But nonetheless, they have won the corner.
So then, there is be a chance just for consolation, you think now, for Western. Kind of sclaffed a little bit by Bruce and McGilvory.
Yes, I was trying to work out whether that was a deliberate play to make it look like they'd messed up, but I think they probably just messed up. Bad decision there from Francis Lonergan. There's a chance for the fast breakout.
Off they go in the red swarm numbers. Excellent running. Can they find a teammate? Isn't it going to wriggle through? It's going to be a penalty corner before it comes to Morris.
So that was Kirsten Peters firstly. Good ball carry through the centre of the pitch there. Then released their colleague. Some stick skills on the edge of the circle, and it's end-to-end stuff.
They're just stopping the clock. Well, Western got themselves sorted out. It's been rather one-sided this European playoff. We've got the men's playoff at 4 with Kelburn and Grange head-to-head again. So 60-90 seconds after a penalty corner at the other end, it's now time for Edinburgh University's turn.
And we have the same personnel, so once again we have the potential of a drag flick off the top circle. We have Becky Merchant, who could sweep in as she did last time. We'll see what they're going to choose this time.
It's going to be a strike from Robertson, deflected behind.
An interesting variation, something we see quite a lot in the men's game, certainly at the top level, where the drag flicker spins round, effectively takes out the number one runner and puts the ball on a plate for a strike from someone else coming in.
Drew trying to help it in for Monzart, but not enough room for her.
So once again, desperate to get the ball out and rushing the pass, and straight back under pressure.
Brodie for Robertson. Into the circle, can they cut it back?
And they have another corner.
And arms are out.
Ball rattling off Laura Mann's feet. She was left with very little option, because if she hadn't got in the way of it, there were a couple of Edinburgh players there to put the ball in the goal.
Yeah, I think Monda was waiting to poke in. So, succession of corners, another at this end for Edinburgh University and for Ali Edie to inject. Looking to make it number 6 here. Oh, it's nice, it's different. Ali Eady got it back from Drew, and
unfortunately from her perspective, the Western goalkeeper Mary Fletcher read it very well and had the angles covered.
Man forward and Steiger for Bruce, but intercepted. Merchant in the road.
From a tight situation, University opening play very well.
Now it's coming back in towards the bit, and there was Burnett, and now counter for Heather Lanigan.
She's nice to turn inside and find some space.
Needed a bit of help and had it, and Lang continued to run.
I have to say that up until that point, when they've just given the ball away, they'd actually done very well because they only had about 2 players forward, surrounded by University players. They managed to make some distance and retain possession.
Man, it skips through for Lang. Turn from Ali Howie. Gilman. Wilson.
That wasn't looked like she was trying to find the foot there, but good defending from Maisie Morris.
20 minutes left on the clock. Edinburgh University 5-1 up against Western. Put it in context, the 3 meetings, the 2 in the league and the cup final last week, 2-1, 1-0, 1-0. 2 wins in Edinburgh Uni's favour. So big score lines like this isn't too normal between these two, certainly of late.
Certainly the University, as they've shown, are well capable of putting in a lot of goals if they're given the opportunity.
That's given away though for Ali Howie, driven across but not near Lanigan, who was rushing in.
So Western pressing out to
back.
put some pressure on here.
Burnett, Lanigan's around, it's going to come back.
And that'll be a corner.
Heather Lang off stick body, and that is the signal from the umpire.
So it was very well played there, working into the circle, and then ultimately brave defending. When you know somebody's about to unleash a shot to try and get in close to block it, takes a bit of courage. But we still have 18 minutes to go, plus a few seconds. You do wonder if the Clydesdale Western girls can score. Can they then sum up the energy to go on a bit of a charge here, because they need a bit of a charge if they're going to change the outcome of this game.
Heavy with the injection. Giveaway blocked in away by Becky Drew, captain to other captain, and counter. It's Campbell racing. Can they spot a little gap? There's loads of space, but Gilman back, because that was 2, 3 and 3 nearly.
That was an important interception. That is of course one of the grave dangers when you have lots of numbers up for attacking corners. If you don't execute it and get the shot away, then the potential for the fast break is always there.
turn away from Ali Howie.
He opens play out nicely to the right hand side here, and here there is space to attack.
Steiger, not quite for Lanigan.
Unfortunately, while the ball was quite accurate, it was a little bit high, making it a bit more difficult to control.
Steiger, one of the bright sparks. I remember watching her back here at the Euro Hockey Under 18s tournament. Brown did well, and it was an excellent try from Heather Lang, but good save as well.
Yeah, that's one of the things that the Scotland head coach Gordon Shepherd has the forwards and the Scotland team working on, playing these more unorthodox shots off these bouncing balls. And you can see that Heather Lang is quite comfortable with that situation.
It was in their end, and Lang and Lanigan were waiting. Smash only to Heather Lang, who might get a second try, third try, fourth try. Again it in, she's had a few of late. Twisting the turn from Ali Howie.
Yep, Ali Howie managed to get the shot away, but Susan Al-Haddad in goals. Her angle's well worked out there.
Wilson, and has it helped on its way? Well, I think they're going to try and get one back, but they're not going to, despite Heather Lang being in a good spot.
No, I think if there was an appeal there, it was pretty half-hearted.
Seen that earlier in one of the playoffs.
Got a good period of pressure here from Clydesdale Western.
After being a bit chancers a few seconds ago, they'll try and score the right way. Get a second goal on the board. They won't by doing that though.
No, and this is Louise Campbell, who is very fast and very good in these situations.
Finds Sophie Monda. This can put a sensational 6 on the scoreboard and taken out. And Mary Fletcher had to do that.
Yeah, she held the ground well, and once she saw where the play was going, excellent dive and stick save there.
Still got it here though. Oh, and it's not went in. Monda was around again on the line, as was Malseed.
So a little bit fortunate to get away with that when the Clydesdale Western girls. There were a few people throwing in early tackles when they weren't really in a position to make them, and too easily beaten. Here's another good breaking opportunity.
And the ball couldn't quite get slipped through to Lanigan from Heather Lang.
Yeah. Interesting ball into space from Robertson there, and you can see her gesticulating at some of her teammates for not reading that.
Forward from Gilman to Lanigan. Support from Brown. And it's went the other way.
Yes, it was a good pick up from Millie Brown, but unfortunately she backed into the defender. And this has been one of the problems for the Clydesdale Western girls. They step up to try and put pressure on.
Louise Campbell, Brodie in the middle. Louise Campbell trying to do it all herself. Might come back for Malseed, and it's well saved again.
So as I was saying, the Western girls pressing high, trying to put them under pressure, and Becky Drew just lofting the ball over the top and instantly putting them on the back foot.
So Robertson this time. Again. Oh, tiny lick away from being 6. Brown.
Brown doing well. I think she was actually fouled there, but the faintest of touches, which unfortunately for her took the ball away from her, but not enough to be spotted by the umpire.
Good control that from Morris. Malseed just kind of half slipped, just lost the possession, but they've got it back again.
And now we're in
Not for long.
fast breakaway situation again. It's Fiona Burnett.
Not a lot of help and support.
No, nobody coming up close to give her the possibility of dropping out. And there it is now, a bit too slow.
Nipping in there. Edinburgh Uni. It's a little bit scrappy last.
So Ellie Hutchinson winning that ball, working really hard to turn possession over.
And again, he's going to wriggle by through. There is Brodie's ball just behind Campbell.
In quite a few of those situations where maybe just that fraction more composure to make sure the pass went where it was intended, and it was a fantastic goal scoring opportunity.
Peters
Turning inside very effectively.
very nice for Brodie, but she couldn't quite control. And off goes Brown again. Lack of numbers starting to appear on the counter for Western, not quite getting the same bodies forward anymore.
Yep. Well, in fairness, when Millie Brown starts running, you have to be pretty fast to stay with her. Oh, and looks like an accidental injury here.
Alex Wilson's stick flying up, I think, on Campbell. Looks alright though.
So technically they should have done a bully there, but they've just forgone that. And Louise Campbell giving the ball back to the Clydesdale Western girls.
Bruce.
So well marshalled there.
Man tried to seize that little bit of a gap, and Brown was there.
I think the last 5 to 10 minutes has been a bit more interesting. There have been chances at either end, and if it wasn't for the fact the score was 5-1,
It was a devastating first 5-6 minutes at the start of the second period.
Yeah, and I think if you were coming out as a Clydesdale Western player, you'd be saying that's an important period for us. And unfortunately for them, Edinburgh University had the same idea and effectively killed the game in that period.
And then Logan searching around for a bit of help and a bit of an option.
But very little movement in front of her, was there?
All a bit static. Well, we found Robertson into the final 10.
Just casually flicked out there. So the Howie sisters working in concert there. So Becky Merchant drifting up here looking for the overhead, but it's gone to the other side.
A big swipe from Mann, and could be danger here for Western.
So Ella Hutchison firing the ball in, but unfortunately taking a line rather too close to the goalkeeper.
Try a second attempt at it. Not quite though. Peters looking for it back. Just edged out and away. Ball from Merchant. Slipped by Brodie. Just outside the D.
There's a good early play. Almost very well read by Susan Graham, but Western keep possession.
Bruce for Heather Howie. now linking up.
Just to beat her player, but not the second one. Becky Merchant, one of the best defenders and tacklers in the game. Known as Gadget Arms to her friends because she has such fantastic reach and ability to play at the edge, at the extremes of her reach. But head down gives the ball away in that instance, and Clydesdale Western back in the attack.
Gilroy was straight up the arm in the air. Will be with her on her side. A lot of space out wide for it to fire in, but Merchant there once more.
Yeah, there needs to be a bit more detail when you fire those balls in. You have to see who's in front of you as a defender and try and find a line past them. Rather, that was a little bit of hit and hope, it looked like.
Mickey Drew up.
Good post up lead there, strong in possession. And Sarah Robertson bursting through into the 25.
Nice space for Graham out wide.
He wins the foul, takes it very quickly, and she's in for a shot if she gets her head up.
Graham's still looking a couple of minds, I think. A clattering of Navy bodies. Heather Lang keeping hold and just darts it away.
Good switch of play.
Harden by Arthur, all the way to a Navy body. Merchant won it back. And a Logan in the road. Tenacity from Graham to try and keep it and win it and wriggle through the legs.
Susan Graham back again. She's a very determined player, and her tackling has been very good in this game.
Heather Lang out wide for Steiger. Penalty corner though, despite side in red thinking they've got it away.
Yep. Well, they don't seem too upset by that. My first reaction was I wondered why that was a corner, but very often the players' reactions will let you know. And they're either so calm because they're 5-1 up, or it clearly was a corner.
Might be both.
Perhaps.
So looking still for number 6 here. Edinburgh Uni, but they've had to calm down on that to try and defend up the other end and stop a second consolation goal here. And it is a captain's goal.
Unfortunately, it struck a little bit too high.
She had her arm in there quickly, but very much ruled out.
No, these are the ones if you get the ball off the ground and you just manage to clip the goalkeeper and it shoots high, then you score. If it goes across the goal line higher than backboard height with the first strike, then it'll be chalked off, as that one was.
Should have thought for the glimmer of a second that she had a second, but it is quickly on up to the other end and back to the defensive work. Hammered in, it was by Miller. Gilroy back to defending.
From striking corner at one end to defending on their own baseline at the other.
Steiger trying to get out, but lost it. The turnover.
Yeah, Hutchinson trying to do it all herself. Not too many there in that instance. Bit determination there from Heather Lang, manages to win and retain possession.
Lang not giving up the fight.
And now they've moved into space.
Good ball down that channel, but cut out once more. too many sniffs in the second period, Western.
No, a couple of chances, but you'd have to say that University have had more than that. So, and here comes another one.
Monda. I'll see that hit off her foot. By the look of things, and Anna Logan's got time.
Comes into the foot, wins the foul.
Lanigan scored what was the equaliser. Feels like a distant memory ago.
Yes, it does seem a long time ago.
Steiger intercepted by Robertson. Steiger for Hannah Lang into the final couple of minutes of this European playoff.
Western still looking for that consolation.
Bruce.
A good turn by Bruce, but unfortunately doesn't find the target.
Not too many of those clear-cut chances in the game, particularly in the second half. As I mentioned, that devastating couple of 5-6 minutes it was in the second period. Burnett.
Oh, unfortunately, choosing the wrong side. I feel if they'd gone to the other side, then there was a possibility of getting into the circle, but still have possession. Good ball fired across. These lifted balls that are fired across just below knee height are so difficult for defenders to deal with.
Gelman trying to get on with it.
Very well read by Becky Drew, makes interception, and now Amy Brody on the breakaway. Got very well back.
Steiger is in there now. Burn it into the final 60 seconds. Headline thrashing it, Lanigan. She'll do that dive even though it's just for 5-2, and she'll take the sore knees in the morning, but she's not going to get a second goal.
Yeah, it's been a couple of occasions now when she's done the right thing, but just not quite making that contact. So University, I think, have mentally already started preparing their celebrations, just counting down those remaining seconds.
Yeah, it's been pretty dominant from them today. And as I mentioned about the scoreline's been so close in the encounters this season, including the final. Maybe Edinburgh dominated in parts last week, but the scoreline was close. But today it has been a chasm. And in the European playoff, decision about the Euro Club Trophy and the Club Championships too. And it's going to be Edinburgh University that will have the main say in what they do in Europe, and they have won convincingly by 5-1 and a clean sweep, winning this playoff and convincingly today, and also of course the Cup and the League, and just edged things and been the better side against Western this campaign in all competitions.
Yes, I think there can be no argument. I mean, I think those that saw the Cup final last weekend and saw this game today would see that University were the dominant side. That's them now going through the season having lost just one game, and yes, I think they will do us well in Europe.
Yeah, a long time ago now, 15th October, when Jenny's penalty corner was the difference in the defeat for Edinburgh University that day.
Yeah, and I think when you mentioned Jenny, that was a significant loss for the Clydesdale Western team. Not only is she a major threat at short corners with her drag flick, but she's a very good outfield player, and she would have added, a degree of depth that I think Clydesdale Western have been missing.
So then that is how things have ended. There's a bit of a presentation. You can see all that on the social media and get in touch through @Scottish Hockey with conversation on there. But it's been great to get your thoughts, Neil. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you, I've enjoyed being here.
Thank you very much indeed. We've still, of course, got the men's final, the European playoff final to come. That's at 4, Kelburn against Range, a rematch of their league and cup duels. But for the moment, from this one, the final score in this women's European playoff: Edinburgh University 5, Clydesdale Western 1.